Have you ever felt heaven trying to warn you through your spirit? Have you ever sensed that something looked like love but didn't feel like peace? This message is not by chance, Archangel Michael says. God is speaking through this message right now to protect your heart, your peace, and your divine blessings. Type 1111 in the comments if you feel this confirmation in your spirit. Because what's coming next will confirm what your heart already knew, but heaven needs you to finally see it clearly. Beloved soul, someone in your life has worn a mask of affection. They have spoken with sweet words, but their intentions are covered in shadows. They've seen your light, your generosity, and your kindness, and they thought it was weakness. But heaven says, no more deception. The Spirit of truth is exposing what has been hidden from your eyes. God has seen the nights you stayed up worrying if their love was real. You gave, you trusted, you believed. You carried the weight of their needs as if they were your own. But heaven reveals, they were not sent to heal you. They were sent to test your discernment. Archangel Michael is standing beside you right now with a sword of divine fire, cutting the cords of manipulation and false peace that have drained your energy. Someone has pretended to love you just to access your abundance. They were drawn, not to your soul, but to your light. They smiled when you gave. They vanished when you needed. And yet your spirit kept whispering, something isn't right. This is that confirmation. God is removing the counterfeit to prepare you for the genuine type. I receive truth and peace in the comments if your spirit agrees. Heaven says the season of pretending is over. You have been carrying emotional leeches, draining your joy, distracting your focus, confusing your spirit, but you were too kind to walk away without divine instruction. So heaven steps in now. Because where peace leaves, God's presence is calling you to pay attention. Archangel Michael says, do not confuse attention with affection. Some people study your weakness just to use it. They learn your kindness to manipulate it. They know your empathy is strong and that your heart heals others even when it's broken. But beloved soul, your mercy should never cost your peace. In the book of Proverbs 4:23, the word of God says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guard your peace as a sacred temple. Not everyone who calls you love is sent by heaven. Not everyone who prays with you prays for you. Some carry silent envy. Some carry hidden intentions. Some came close to see what you carry are not who you are, but heaven says you are stepping into a season of revelation. God is peeling back the layers, the smiles that felt strange, the silence that followed your giving, the sudden distance when you said no. All of it is part of the divine exposure happening right now. You may feel sadness, but heaven says this separation is protection. Your destiny requires clarity. Your purpose cannot thrive in false love. Archangel Michael is saying, this is not punishment. This is purification. Someone has been pretending to love you, but their spirit has been trembling under conviction because heaven has been warning them to stop using you, yet they continued, thinking your kindness meant blindness. But you are awakening. You are being filled with spiritual eyesight, able to see beyond the mask. The enemy used their flattery as a weapon to distract you from your calling. They spoke about love but planted confusion. They asked for help but gave no effort to heal their own heart. Heaven says, you cannot save someone who enjoys deceiving. You can forgive, but you cannot finance their destruction. This is your season to step back and reclaim your peace. I reclaim my peace in the key comments if this word touches your spirit. Beloved, You have been too loyal to pain, too patient with manipulation, too silent in your own suffering. But heaven says, your silence has reached my throne, your tears have been counted, and your kindness will not go unrewarded. You gave from love, not for gain. You trusted not because you were naive, but because your heart was pure. Now heaven will repay what was stolen. Every dollar, every dream, every piece of peace will return multiplied, because the one who played with your compassion has touched something sacred to God. Archangel Michael says, when someone manipulates a chosen soul, they touch the edge of heaven's justice, and justice is already moving. What you thought was loss is divine redirection. What you thought was betrayal is a door to your blessing. God is aligning divine helpers, people who give without taking, love without pretending, and speak without agenda. You will know them by peace, not pressure. Heaven says, your peace will become your compass. If someone's energy disturbs your calm, step back. If their love requires your exhaustion, it's not from God. If they call you only when they need and disappear when you heal, they were an assignment of distraction. But your spirit already knew this. You just needed heaven's confirmation to finally close the chapter, and this is it. This is your sign. God says, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. He will fight for you while you rest. Archangel Michael is cutting every false attachment that drains your finances, your joy and your peace. Someone wanted to take your money, your time, your divine focus, but they forgot who protects you. Heaven is not blind to your generosity. Every seed you sowed in wrong soil will be transferred into good ground. Your next blessing will not require pretending. It will recognize your value immediately. Type, my spirit chooses peace, if you're ready for divine alignment, because as you release the false, the true will enter. There's someone genuine being prepared for you, a person sent by heaven, not motivated by gain, but by purpose. But heaven cannot send the pure while you still entertain the impure. The door of peace cannot open while you guard the door of deception. Archangel Michael says, you must choose yourself again, choose your worth, choose your boundaries, choose your peace over pressure. Someone is about to reveal their true colors. Their tone will shift. Their presence will fade. Their excuses will multiply. Don't chase. Their absence is heaven's proof. You are being protected from what would have drained your future. Heaven is not taking away love. It's replacing counterfeit affection with divine alignment. This revelation is not to break you, but to build your discernment. Every lesson is training your spirit for destiny, because in the coming weeks, a financial blessing is coming your way, and heaven refuses to let manipulators sit at that table. Archangel Michael says, your finances are about to rise, your peace is about to multiply, and your discernment will become sharp as a sword. Those who pretended will fade. Those who loved sincerely will stay. The truth will sort your circle without you. Speaking a word, you don't have to expose anyone. God is already doing it. This is your confirmation that the shaking you feel is not chaos, but it's cleansing. Heaven says, let them fall away gracefully, for what's about to enter your life requires empty hands to receive. You will soon thank God for unanswered calls, delayed texts, and sudden silence, because each one was divine redirection. Beloved soul, your energy is sacred currency. Guard it like treasure. When you invest your love, heaven multiplies it. But when you waste it on deception, it drains your divine bank. This message is your withdrawal from emotional debt. You are being restored. Archangel Michael says, you will feel lighter after releasing this burden. Your sleep will deepen. Your mind will clear. Your joy will return. You will wake up one morning soon and say, I finally feel peace again, because you will. Heaven is returning what manipulation stole. Peace, focus, and favor. The counterfeit was a lesson. The real blessing is next. God says, the righteous will flourish like a palm tree. Psalm 92:12. And you are about to flourish. Every seed of truth will rise. Every act of kindness will bear fruit. Your spirit is shifting from being drained to being divinely sustained. Type, I am ready for my divine restoration. If you receive this, you are not losing love. You are losing the lie. You are not being punished. You are being purified. You are not being abandoned. You are being positioned. Heaven says, your peace is power. Your discernment is protection. Your faith is your weapon. Keep walking in truth and watch the miracles unfold. Someone meant harm, but God will turn it into testimony. Archangel Michael stands guard over you now. You are surrounded by light, covered by grace, and stepping into divine justice. Let peace return to your heart. Let joy return to your days. Let discernment guide your love, because from this moment on, no one will play with your heart or your peace. Again, heaven has spoken. Type amen if you receive it like this video. If this message spoke to your heart, comment your angel number or your prayer request below. Subscribe for daily prophetic and angelic guidance, and share this message with someone who needs to hear this today, because someone else might be in the same trap you just escaped, and your share could become their deliverance. You are covered. You are protected. You are free. Archangel Michael says your peace is restored. Your heart is guarded, and your next chapter begins in light. Beloved, heaven is not done speaking. There are still things unseen that your spirit must hear. The enemy does not always come wearing darkness. Sometimes deception dresses itself in charm, kindness, and comfort, so you won't notice the trap until your peace begins to fade. Archangel Michael says, your heart has always been generous, but generosity without discernment invites thieves. You have poured love into hands that were never meant to hold it. You have opened your door to people whose purpose was to test your boundaries, not to bless your journey, and yet heaven calls you not to regret, but to awaken, because you are not a victim of deception. You are a survivor of divine training. Each lesson was meant to teach you where not to place your trust again. The person who pretended to love you thought they could use your compassion to feed their greed, but what they did not know is that you are guarded by heaven's fire. Every tear you cried became a weapon of light in the spirit realm, and now those tears are forming your victory. Heaven says, you are entering a season of exposure and restoration. You will start seeing through intentions like glass. The fake will fade, and the faithful will stand out. The person who once drained you will begin to lose access to your peace. It will not even require confrontation. Heaven will simply remove the connection, because divine peace and deception cannot dwell in the same space. Archangel Michael says, do not chase those who left when you stopped giving. Their silence is heaven's confirmation. Their distance is divine protection. When they could no longer control you with charm, they chose to disappear. Let them. You are not called to beg for loyalty. You are called to embody light, and your light is about to attract those who carry true love, true faith, and true purpose. But before heaven sends that, you must empty your spirit of disappointment. You must release the resentment that keeps you tied to false memories. Every time you replay how they used you, you reinvite the pain, but heaven says, it is finished. Type, I release the past if your heart is ready for peace, because heaven is writing a new chapter, one where your heart is safe, your finances are stable, and your peace is permanent. God is replacing manipulation with manifestation. He is exchanging your sorrow for strategy. He is teaching you how to love wisely, not blindly. And Archangel Michael stands beside you saying, "No more spiritual parasites shall drain this soul. The one who pretended to love you will soon feel the weight of their actions. For every tear they caused, conviction will follow them. This is not revenge. It is divine justice. Heaven repays not with pain, but with lessons that correct. And while they wrestle with regret, you will rise with reward, because the hand that tried to take from you unknowingly pushed you into a new season of independence. You will soon see why God allowed it. If that false connection had stayed, your destiny would have been delayed. They were blocking blessings disguised as love. They came for your money, but heaven used them to reveal your worth. They came for your peace, but God turned their chaos into clarity. You are wiser now, stronger now, and far more powerful in spirit than before. Heaven says, do not waste your wisdom when the next person enters your life. Test their spirit by peace, not words. Listen to what your body feels. When they speak, your heart is no longer naive. It's discerning. You will feel divine warning before deception arrives, because the Spirit of truth now lives loudly within you. Type, "My spirit is awake." If you receive this, beloved, Archangel Michael whispers, you were never easy to love wrongly. It took effort for them to pretend, because your soul demands authenticity. That is why they often appeared tired, moody, or distant. Falsehood drains its host. They could not keep up, pretending under heaven's light, so their mask slipped, and you finally saw what was hidden behind their charm. Do not blame yourself for missing the signs. You saw the potential, not the pretense. You loved their possibility, not their performance. But heaven says, now you see clearly, and what you see will set you free. In the days ahead, you will notice sudden changes, numbers, dreams, repeated phrases. When you see 333, know that heaven is confirming your protection. When you see 77737, know that financial restoration is on its way. When you see 999, know that the false cycle has ended. These are not coincidences, they are divine affirmations, because your angels are working overtime to ensure that what was stolen returns in abundance. You will receive unexpected financial favor. A delayed payment, a forgotten opportunity, or a closed door will suddenly reopen. And when it happens, remember, it's heaven's payback for what manipulation cost you. Archangel Michael says, you will no longer be drained for love. The energy you gave away will now return multiplied. The clarity you begged for will now flood your mind like morning light, and the peace you thought was gone forever will settle in your heart again, because this time love will come with alignment, not confusion. God is sending people who mirror your spirit, not mimic your kindness. They will love you for your soul, not for your giving. They will honor you in prayer, not pressure. They will build with you, not borrow from you. This is what divine love looks like: mutual, mature, peaceful, and true. And it will find you once the counterfeit is fully released. So do not fear solitude. It is heaven's bridge to genuine connection. God isolates before he elevates. You are being prepared for partnerships that cannot be corrupted, for purposes that cannot be interrupted, for blessings that cannot be stolen. And Archangel Michael says, every counterfeit must collapse before covenant can come. So let the false fall, let the truth rise, because once your peace is restored, your prosperity will follow. Type, my peace is my protection, if your soul agrees. Beloved, you are walking into divine freedom. The chains of emotional dependence are breaking. You no longer need external validation to feel loved. Heaven's love is enough, and through that love, everything else will align. God says, I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:25. Those years of giving to takers, loving liars, trusting the wrong hearts. They will all be redeemed. You will receive double peace for the pain, double joy for the lost, double strength for the tears. Heaven is multiplying your miracle. Archangel Michael says, you are not late. You are right on divine schedule. The storm that exposed the fake was not meant to drown you. It was meant to reveal who can. Swim beside you in truth. You have learned the sacred art of letting go, and now you are free to receive. You will soon look back and thank heaven for removing what you once begged to keep, because what's coming is purer, deeper, and lasting. This message is your sign that the cycle of betrayal ends here. God is closing the door permanently on manipulation and control. From this day forward, only authenticity will have access to you. Archangel Michael places divine light around your aura. No darkness can hide in your presence anymore. You will notice that people who once deceived you will now avoid you, not because you changed, but because your energy now exposes what they hide. Your light is their mirror, reflects their truth, and they cannot stand the reflection. So let them go. Heaven is elevating you above the reach of falsehood. From this higher plane, you will see the patterns you once missed, and you will never again trade your peace for companionship, because you now know peace is priceless. Love without honesty is emptiness. Generosity without gratitude is slavery. And God did not create you to be enslaved by emotional manipulation. He created you to be a vessel of divine abundance, a carrier of healing light and a guardian of peace. Type, I protect my light with love, if you receive this truth. Beloved, this is your awakening. Every heartbreak was training your intuition. Every betrayal was sharpening your spirit. Every disappointment was cleansing your energy now. Your discernment is a shield. Your wisdom is a sword. Your faith is unshakable. And heaven says, you are ready for your inheritance. Soon you will walk into rooms that radiate peace. You will meet people whose energy matches yours. You will no longer be the only giver. You will be surrounded by givers too, and that's when you'll realize the false love was only a rehearsal for the real blessing. The pain was a teacher. The loss was a door. The exposure was your liberation. Archangel Michael says, you have passed the test. Heaven is proud of your endurance. You didn't become bitter. You became better. You didn't curse them. You prayed for them. You didn't seek revenge. You sought healing. And that choice has activated divine favor. From this point forward, expect miracles disguised as coincidences. Expect peace that confuses those who betrayed. You should expect financial opportunities aligned with your purpose, because what was meant to drain you has become the seed of your deliverance. Beloved, heaven concludes this part of your message with assurance. You are free, you are covered, you are chosen, and no one will ever use your love as currency again, for your heart now belongs to God's peace alone. Heaven is whispering again. Beloved soul, you are not hearing this by accident. There is someone watching your peace, wishing they could manipulate your kindness once more. But heaven says, not this time. Type, not this time. I am protected by light, if your spirit agrees, because the mask is falling. The one who played with your loyalty is trembling under divine exposure. They pretended to care, but heaven is showing their true face. They wanted your energy, your generosity, your stability, but you are no longer the same soul who once tolerated confusion. In the name of love, you are rising with new spiritual power. You are walking in discernment, and your peace is now a warning to the manipulator. I see you, Archangel Michael says. Every counterfeit connection will start to crumble the moment you protect your boundaries. You are no longer accessible to emotional thieves. You are covered in heavenly wisdom. The people who once lied smoothly will now stumble in your presence. They will avoid your eyes because your light reveals their shadows. This is your season of revelation and release type. I walk in truth and peace. If you feel this in your heart, heaven says, what's being exposed isn't to shame you, it's to shape you. You had to see what fake love looks like so you could recognize divine love when it arrives. Your discernment was born through disappointment. Your strength was forged in silence, and now your spirit is too powerful to be deceived again. Beloved, the one who used you for money thought they took advantage, but they only funded your testimony, because every loss became seed for your comeback. Every betrayal became soil for your breakthrough, and every tear became a prophecy of transformation. God says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. The weapon formed was deceit, but it failed. The lie was spoken, but it fell powerless. You survived manipulation because heaven had more for you. Type, I am rising from the pain, if you feel this truth awakening inside. Beloved, your peace is attracting divine compensation. Heaven is restoring what the fake connection drained. You will soon receive financial favor that does not come from flattery, but from faith. You will see your resources multiply as you set boundaries, because when you honor your energy, you invite increase. The enemy tried to distract you through false love, but your focus is returning stronger than ever. You are no longer desperate for attention. You are devoted to alignment. The angels are rejoicing because you finally chose yourself without guilt. Archangel Michael says, every act of self-love is spiritual warfare. Every no you speak to manipulation is a victory in the spirit. And every boundary you build becomes a wall of light around your destiny. Beloved, heaven needs you to comment this now. Type, my peace is sacred. My heart is guarded. My soul is free. Let the declaration be your shield, because the energy you release in faith becomes power in motion. God is writing your restoration story even now. The people who thought they could drain you will soon watch you overflow. They will see you blessed, stable, smiling, and peaceful. And they won't understand how, but heaven will whisper to you. This is what divine protection looks like. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not unloved. You are being upgraded. You are not forgotten. You are being favored. Type, I receive my divine upgrade, if this is your confirmation, because as you declare, heaven accelerates. Miracles move when faith speaks. Breakthroughs unlock when truth is accepted. And you, beloved, have accepted heaven's truth tonight. Archangel Michael says, you are untouchable in the light of obedience. Stay aligned. Stay discerning. Stay peaceful, because the next chapter of your life will prove that every fake connection was a stepping stone to divine elevation. Heaven says, your peace was too expensive to be sold to lies. You paid for false loyalty with sleepless nights, silent tears, and unanswered prayers, but that season ends tonight. Type, my peace returns now, if your spirit feels this shift. Because as you read these words, the chains of emotional manipulation are breaking, the confusion is leaving, the guilt is melting away. You are remembering who you are, a child of divine purpose, born of truth, chosen for clarity. Archangel Michael says, those who used your love for personal gain will soon Witness what divine reversal looks like. They will see you rise in blessings they cannot explain. They will wonder how peace found you again after everything they took, and heaven will whisper to them, "You cannot steal what is protected by angels." Beloved, this is not just restoration. It is vindication. Every seed of goodness you planted in wrong soil is being transferred to heavenly ground. Every fake smile that drained you will be replaced by genuine laughter. Every moment of doubt will now birth faith stronger than fear. God says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 43:19. Yes, beloved soul, something new is emerging inside you. You are no longer defined by betrayal. You are refined by purpose. The very storm that tried to break you has purified your discernment. You will now feel instantly. When energy is wrong, you will no longer ignore red flags painted as love. You will no longer shrink your light to make others comfortable. Type, "I walk in divine awareness." If your soul agrees, heaven is celebrating your awakening. Archangel Michael says, "Your silence has been heard in heaven louder than any prayer." When you stopped explaining yourself to manipulators, angels began fighting for you, and now justice is moving, not the revenge of the world, but the reward of heaven. The one who pretended to love you is losing the ability to pretend at all. Their own words are exposing them. Their own choices are revealing truth, and you, beloved, are being lifted out of their shadow into radiant peace. Heaven says you will no longer fund your own heartbreak. Your resources will now flow toward purpose, not parasites. The finances that once leaked through emotional giving are now sealing with wisdom. Expect unexpected income. Expect sudden refunds. Expect divine favor to follow every act of faith. Type, "My finances are protected by heaven." If you feel that promise, beloved, the spiritual thieves are leaving your orbit. Their influence dissolves the moment you choose discernment over desperation. The peace that returns will feel unfamiliar at first. Quiet, stable, strong. Do not mistake stillness for emptiness. It is the sound of heaven rebuilding your foundation. Archangel Michael says, "Do not rush to fill the space that exposure created. Let the silence heal you. Let solitude teach you. Let wisdom rebuild you. Because soon, divine companionship will arrive, not to take, but to add. Not to demand, but to align. Not to flatter, but to fulfill. This person will see your worth without needing proof. They will love your peace, not compete with it. They will give without keeping score. Heaven says, this is the kind of love I intended for you all along. But first, your soul must remain in gratitude for what ended, because what ended set you free. Type, "Thank you, heaven, for protecting me." If you feel grateful instead of bitter, you are evolving. You are stepping into divine maturity. You now understand that not every "I love you" means "I respect you." You now know that energy never lies, even when words do, and you will never again confuse entertainment for connection. Beloved, your story is shifting from heartbreak to holy purpose. Soon your testimony will reach others who are still trapped in counterfeit love. You will speak light into their darkness. You will say, "I was there, but heaven rescued me," and they will believe. Because your peace will be proof, Archangel Michael says. Keep your heart soft, but your boundaries strong. Keep your love pure, but your discernment sharper than ever. Because your next chapter is not survival, it's revival. Type, "I am stepping into revival," if your spirit receives it. Heaven concludes this segment with assurance. You are untouchable in light. Unshakable in faith, unbreakable in peace. The pretenders have lost access. The real ones are on their way, and your destiny is now guarded by divine truth forever. Beloved soul, heaven is not finished revealing the truth. There are still layers being peeled away. The light is uncovering what darkness thought it could hide forever. Archangel Michael says, "Do not be afraid of what is being exposed. You prayed for truth, and now heaven is answering." Sometimes the answer doesn't come with comfort. It comes with clarity, and clarity, though painful, is sacred. Type "I choose clarity over comfort" if you're ready to see truth through heaven's eyes. You were never meant to carry those who refuse to grow. You were meant to lead by example, not be drained by expectation. The one who pretended to love you didn't just take your peace, they tried to take your focus from your divine assignment. They saw your destiny as an opportunity for gain, but God saw their intentions long before you did. He allowed the connection only long enough to teach your spirit how to discern hidden motives. Heaven says, you are graduating from that lesson. Now, your soul has earned new spiritual authority. You will now sense deception before it speaks. You will feel false energy before it acts, because your discernment has become a spiritual alarm that cannot be silenced. Archangel Michael says, this is your divine promotion. Heaven trusted you to experience deception and still choose forgiveness. You passed that test. You released vengeance. And because of that, divine justice is already being activated. The one who used you will face what they created: emptiness where they sowed deceit, confusion where they spread lies, loss where they sought selfish gain. But you, beloved, will harvest peace in the same place you once cried. Type, I am harvesting peace, if you receive that prophecy. The Lord says in Galatians 6:9, do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you shall reap if you do not faint. That season is now. The seeds you planted in sincerity are rising with divine power. The blessings attached to your name are being released, and no pretender can block what God has written. Your story is shifting from victim to victor. Your finances are shifting from drained to overflowing. Your heart is shifting from broken to blooming, because when you learn who you are in heaven's eyes, manipulation loses its power. Archangel Michael says, the enemy cannot fool a soul that knows its worth. You are stepping into a phase where peace becomes your language and boundaries become your ministry. Heaven says, teach others how to protect their light. Your testimony will heal hearts that don't even know your name. You will speak, and those trapped in similar deception will find courage to walk away. That is your purpose, to bring freedom through faith. Type, my story will free others, if that speaks to your soul. Beloved, you are becoming a vessel of restoration. You no longer chase closure, you create it. You no longer beg for truth, you embody it. You no longer wait for peace, you are peace. God says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. John 1:5, and that light is you. You survived manipulation without becoming bitter. You endured false love without losing real compassion. You learned to walk away without losing your grace. Now, heaven can trust you with bigger blessings, because your heart is pure enough to handle increase. Archangel Michael says, abundance without discernment becomes danger. That's why heaven tested your heart before releasing the overflow. But now, you're ready. You've proven that love cannot blind you anymore. You've proven that generosity cannot be used against you. anymore, and heaven rejoices because your wisdom has become your wealth, your faith has become your fortress, your peace has become your power. Type, "My peace is my power." If you feel heaven confirming this in your spirit, beloved, this is your rebirth moment. Everything that fell apart was actually falling into divine order. Every closed door was God's redirection. Every separation was preparation for what's coming, and what's coming is unstoppable favor. You will soon step into opportunities that feel tailor-made for your soul. Heaven says, watch how everything you lost is returned in better form. Better people, better partnerships, better peace, better love. This is divine exchange. The false has been traded for the true. The pain has been traded for purpose. The confusion has been traded for clarity. And your next chapter begins with the words, "I'm finally free." Type, "I am finally free" in the comments to seal this prophetic moment, because your declaration is not just a comment, it's a covenant. Heaven records your words as faith in motion, and faith in motion attracts miracles. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, sword raised in victory, declaring the storm has passed, the mask has fallen, the light has won.